Hello guys, this is our pitch for The Tale of Ruby Hood, which we're going to be pitching to you today. A film created by DBR, me, myself, Dale, Nar, and Bradley, which is called The Tale of Ruby Hood. That's the address, our number. Film idea. It was originally about Ruby Hood, Little Red Riding Hood, but we added our own little twist to it. So we thought we'd bring in a wolf and a clip, and also, and he's trying to like return back to Ruby Hood. So that's our little twist, which is he's a scary wolf, but he's not. He's a scary wolf, which is what you see on camera, but at the end, it turns out that he's trying to just return the hair clip. So, yeah, that was our first initial idea. It's our inspiration.
Our inspiration came from the film which came out in 2011, which is called Red Riding Hood. It's a horror, but it's a fantasy horror, which is basically the same sort of idea that we were trying to incorporate in our film. They've got the same colour theme and stuff that we wanted to use in ours, and their character and setting is similar to ours. They have a field and like a forest that we were going to incorporate in ours, and dark colour to represent horror and like anger and stuff, and then yeah.
The research that we did, we sent out a questionnaire to like people age range from like 15 to about, yeah, but some older. Yeah. So, but yeah, 18, 19. So our focus group is 15 to 18. More, I think it was both sexes. So like it wasn't predominant to like one side. So both sexes thought that the idea was good, and they thought that we should stick to a horror, and also that the length, they didn't want it too long, so they wanted it in between 3 to 5 minutes. So
we made our questionnaire based on our target audience, so we thought if we asked questions that were relevant, they'd be able to give us the right feedback that we were hoping to improve our film.
for example, do you think we should make a horror? And that got eyes broke. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
This is our age of some of the people we asked. It was mostly around this area, but we did ask some older people. Based on our feedback, we had to make changes to what our initial idea was, because some people said that they didn't like the idea of Red Riding Hood because they thought it was too like childish and not aimed at their target audience. So we changed it based on that, and we made it short, because initially it was going to be around 10 minutes, but because they said they wanted it short, we cut it down. So we took the least important scenes out to make it more appealing to the audience.
Trick or treat. So then the new idea that we came up with was, you'd see there's a couple named Adam and Lauren, and they stay together. The husband comes back from work early before the wife, and then he's preparing for a Halloween party. He prepares for the Halloween party, and then his costume is all black with a knife. And then because it's a dream within a dream, yeah. So then he sleeps, and then he wakes up, and then he repeats what he's done already. So then he prepares himself, gets everything on, and then he finds the knife again. Well, he loses the knife, and then he finds it again. And then he's on the way to the party, and then as he's on the way to the party, he thinks, let me take a little shortcut to the party. And it's like 6, 7 o'clock at night. And he meets his or he doesn't meet his girlfriend on the way, he sees her on the way, and then he accidentally takes out the knife and stabs her in the chest, which of course she ends up dying. Then he wakes up within the dream, and then as he's in bed he's holding a knife, and then he sees the blood on it, so then that's our little twist. So you're not too sure if he's killed her or he hasn't killed her. But that's for you to decide.
The reason we changed our story, as I said before, is because people said that the idea was limited within the idea of the fairy tale. They said that they thought it would be more interesting if if the boy kills the girl, because in the initial story, that's kind of what happens.
And we thought we had a little montage, or as you can see, we're going to put a little montage in it. Old characters, that was the feedback that we got from people. And the budgeting, sound equipment's 1,250. Hiring equipment for a single week, 8,750. Lighting equipment, 1,250. Camera, 1,250. And the locations that we wanted to use, as again we've said before, the High Street in Plumstead or Sidcup, or we could both use both of them, and also Bradley's bedroom and house. Yeah. And these are the main characters.
We picked Adam and Lauren because they both study drama A level, so they're used to acting and being on camera, and we thought they'd be suitable for the film, as they've both done a production together where they were boyfriend and girlfriend, so that they'd be familiar with acting that.
And they have chemistry already on camera. So a health and safety assessment, slipping on grass, falling over, hurting yourself with props, damaging equipment, hurting yourself when picking up things. You have to squat in the right way when you pick something up. Getting hit by a vehicle and tripping over wires. That can range from anywhere to a forest, anywhere, and as you can see, anywhere. That can be the cast or crew, and like how we can stop this from happening: slipping on the grass, make sure you wear appropriate footwear to the location, falling over, again, make sure you're walking properly, appropriate footwear, hand yourself with props, make sure you're careful with handling the props, so like you don't, too forceful or, damaging equipment. Yeah. That's about it. Let's get the next one. Okay. Trick or treat. Thank you.
Thanks.
We need to ask questions. Well, we need to make it fair, so if we have each student answer 3 questions each. So let's have one question for Dale first of all. We've got a question for Dale. Goodness?
How would the audience be aware of the film?
Got the fun?
Of the show people, how would people know?
How are you going to let people know that this film's coming out?
How would you let people know the film's coming out? We promote it on the internet, make a little trailer for it, and tell people about it, maybe make a little poster or leaflet, give it to people.
What's the most effective way you distribute your film?
Distributed,
The most effective way we could distribute is probably the internet, because that's where people spend most of their time. So they'd see it, they'd be more likely seeing it than looking for a newspaper or something.
Another question for Dale. What you want to know? What question have you got?
Don't you think your target audience is a bit like too small?
not necessarily, because it's from 15 to 18, so yeah, like all of them can have a different perception of the film, and they can take something different away from it. Do you know what I mean? So like if you're young, for example, if you're 15, you may think that the girl was stabbed innocently or something. Or actually, if you're older, then you may think the girl was stabbed innocently.
How old is the girl? How old is the girl?
She's about 17 going on 18. Yeah. And Adam's like, I think 19 going on 20.
Then you should have like started from the girl's age and then you need to like older or something like
So 17 to 20.
that. Yeah.
That's still 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's your older hobby, like older viewers can view.
Yeah, but the older viewers will still understand it. It's not targeted to one age. It's targeted to all. But I see where it's coming from.
Okay, question for Renata. Kieran, question for Renata, please.
Do you know where the when he's in the dream and he actually stabs the girlfriend? Like, how are you going to make that look realistic without actually stabbing her?
She's not in the room, it's outside where when he's on his way to the party, the girl tries to play a trick on him and jump out, and then because he's scared, he accidentally stabs her, but then he wakes up realising that he did actually stab her. So the way we're going to make that clear is by when he stabs her, we're going to use editing to kind of show that it's not real, so we can use like a flashback edit or just changing it to black and white.
And there's different effects like dreaming and stuff. So it makes it look as if it's a dream within a dream phase and stuff like that. So yeah.
Last question for Dale.
Like, to be more specific, like what editing techniques are you actually going to use? Like,
We're gonna use dissolves, transitions, and what's the word? Like you can put a certain kind of colour to the scene that you're watching.
Treatment.
Treatment, that's it. Thank you.
so are you going to use any editing techniques like montage?
Yeah, like we said, we're gonna use a montage because you're gonna see the couple together in a montage. So then you're gonna see like them in a relationship, having fun together, maybe going to restaurants and stuff, and then it cuts to the back to the film. So yeah.
Thank you. Last question for Renata. Renata, we've heard today talk about editing, so you can talk about some technical terms. I'd like you to talk about the camera shots and angles you might use and why you've chosen them.
For the stabbing scene, we're thinking of using a mid shot, so you can see like from the waist up, which is where he's going to stab her. We're going to use close-ups for the bed scene where he wakes up, so you can see his facial expressions. We're going to use tracking when he's on his way to the party. So we're going to track from behind using the shoulder shot so you can see what he's seeing. We're going to see, we might use graphic match when he picks up the knife. So we don't cut it straight away, we can just fade it out. And I think those are the only ones we've sort of discussed, but we might change it when it comes to editing.
Okay. Alright. Dale, I was just going to ask you, because you talked about promoting the film, and one of the things you said was leaflet. And bearing in mind the age of your target audience, do teenagers really respond best to leaflets? Is there another way you could reach teenagers that would be better?
Or it could, you know how you see like right on side of buses where you see banners and stuff like that. It could be like that, or
Oh, right, so more like a poster.
yeah. But I think they'd like leaflets as well if it was they were attracted to it. Not attracted, but
Would you guys pick up a leaflet?
yeah, it depends what
I
it
will.
is.
It's like social.
Yeah.
If you use the right colours and stuff to attract it, then we might.
If it looks
Okay.
fun and appealing to them, then they'll take it.
Okay. Alright. Alright, thank you guys.